and let us all do we can to build a better future.
This was brought up by our good friend and colleague, Kira, who basically found this story for us. But we need to talk about money in politics because, again, the thing is, the United States Supreme Court, through Citizens United and McCutcheon's decision, allowed anyone to buy our politicians, to get involved in any election in the United States. We've legalized bribery. So that means corporations can get involved in elections, but so can dark money from overseas. No, it's not just Russia that can do it. It's anybody, really. Any foreign power, any corporation, anything overseas can now get involved in ballot initiatives or any kind of election in the United States. And there's a lot of loopholes that any kind of foreign entity or corporation can do. Now, the thing is, for a long time, the United States government has been doing this to other countries, and now it looks like we're getting a taste of our own medicine. And it's just not Russia. It's not Russia. A lot of countries can do this. And some countries have been doing this for some time longer. So let's talk about what's going on. So the FCC affirmed that foreigners can fund U.S. ballot measures because they're technically not elections. Uh-oh. Let's find out what's going on. This might impact a lot of us. In a 4-2 decision, the Federal Election Commission has affirmed that foreign nationals, including individuals, corporations, and even governments, can legally pour money into ballot measures in states that don't otherwise forbid it. That's because they don't technically count as elections under federal election laws, which foreign nationals are barred from participating in. Axios first reported on July the decision, which has not yet been made public, in which Democratic FEC Chair Sana Barzard reportedly joined with 3 Republicans to dismiss a complaint filed against an Australian mining company that contributed to a 2018 anti-highway ballot measure in Montana. Are we as U.S. citizens really okay with letting foreign money go directly into state lawmaking via citizen initiative campaigns, said David Brooks, one of the people who brought the complaint against the mining company, in a statement to Axios. 7 states currently ban some version of this foreign funding, including California, Colorado, Maryland, Nevada, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Washington. The Commission's legal analysis of the case stated that the Federal Election Campaign Act regulates only candidate elections, not referenda or other issue ballot measures, and that spending only to ballot 3 initiatives is generally outside the purview of the Act. The FTC has now officially said that this is fine, this is okay, said Aaron McNeek, a legal counsel at the Campaign Legal Center, in a brief interview with Insider. Really, it's pretty upsetting, and it goes against the mission of the FTC to protect our elections. Democratic Commissioner Ellen Webster spoke out about the decision on Twitter, noting that a fuller statement would be released tomorrow. I voted to protect our nation's ballot initiatives from foreign influence, but my view did not prevail, she wrote. Ballot initiatives can reach deeply into laws of a state or locality and directly rewrite both statutes and constitutions. They are vulnerable to manipulation and are deserving of no less protection from foreign influence than are our candidate elections. While arguing the most famous case of foreign interference, again, not really true at all, because this is where this article's BS about Russiagate and the 2016 election, because no, Russia did not get involved in our election, and this is where this article's BS, where they have to bring up Russiagate. Again, Russiagate was a conspiracy theory. Russiagate was, again, deemed something that didn't happen. The whole thing about Russiagate, and again, we got to stop talking about Russiagate. But here we have an article bringing it up. Now look, the real issue is this. In our elections in the United States, corporations and anybody, really, can get involved in any election whatsoever, whether it's a candidate election or ballot initiatives at this point. And look, ballot initiatives are important because these are the things that people can directly get involved in and, more importantly, make their lives better. But because now there's this weird loophole in which corporations or either foreign countries can get involved now, this is going to set a dangerous precedent where the establishment could potentially derail ballot initiatives, or more importantly, sadly, devastatingly, make elections that much more difficult for the average American voter. Already, here in the United States as well, we don't even have a national election day where voters can take the day off to vote. And again, our politicians, both Democrat and Republican, wonder why there's such low voter turnouts during local elections or midterm elections, or either that during primaries. Because Our system has made it impossible for people to turn out to vote, and plus our system has basically made it very clear that the only people that are going to have the final say in any election in the United States are corporations. This is why we have to get rid of Citizens United and the McCutcheon decision. We have to get money out of politics because it's hurting our fundamental right to actually have a democracy. So, continuing on, the FEC decision clarifies what had previously been an ambiguous area of campaign finance law in 2015. The commission deadlocked over whether it was legal for a foreign corporation to contribute $150,000 to a California ballot committee. That led to both a lack of enforcement and lack of guidance on whether the contributions were even legal in the first place. It's years later, and we're still having the same problems with foreign money in our elections. And it's something that the FEC could fix by themselves. It's their interpretation of the law that's allowing foreign money to get into our elections. This kind of foreign spending is banned by two major election bills supported by congressional Democrats, but continuing blocked by Republicans, the For the People Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. The important thing here is that people at all levels of government recognize this is a problem. Again, if we could stop right here. What we need to address in the United States is getting rid of Citizens United, getting rid of the McCutcheon decision. The corporations and foreign entities that can buy our elections are a real problem. Because again, we've seen this over and over from our Democratic and Republican lawmakers. They care about their donors. Their donors have the final say. Their donors always have their ear. And these are the same corporate donors that also own our media. The right to vote should be a treasured privilege for a lot of American voters. But because now we have dark money flowing into our elections, because we have dark money flowing into any kind of ballot initiative, the system, the establishment, will make it that much harder for the average voter to participate in. Ballot initiatives are important. But if you have a Democratic or Republican lawmaker making a decision on ballot initiatives or how they should be interpreted at the state level, this will be a problem. We cannot trust a two-party system to start going to bat for us when they've failed for decades. This is why we need to change our system and why there must be general strikes, why there must be, again, a real infrastructure on actually building a real political movement that will bring a voice to the people. If we don't change anything now, the system that we have will become that much worse.